Well, whoa, that wasn't supposed to happen. Oh my. All right.
Is it set?
Something like that always happens. Oh, uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now we're, oh boy, I'm sorry, folks. Just gotta quit out of that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back to Truth Quest. My name is Aaron Moriarty. I will be your host, and we're gonna go on a quest for truth together, glitch-filled and everything. But today we have a special guest for you, Margie Long. Welcome to the Truth Quest, Margie.
Hello. How you doing?
Oh.
Can you hear me?
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh,
What?
wait a minute. Okay, then now I can hear you.
Okay, you can hear me. Good. All
Yeah,
right.
yes.
Move it around for a minute. All right.
So, you know, sometimes these little glitches happen, and it's just part of life,
right
on the blogosphere. So how are you doing today, Margie?
I'm doing pretty good. I gotta say, yes.
Good. You know, you've been one of my Facebook friends for quite a long time, and I always love the things you post, and you post a lot of things, but I want you to talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
I know that you've got a lot of interesting things to say, so.
Absolutely. Well, I'm trying to be service to others as much as possible. And the way I do that is I post a lot of stuff on Facebook and any type of social media outlet. So that's my number one thing, is to, I guess, learn, teach. I've also had a lot of paranormal experiences from the time I can remember until now. So I kind of wanted to talk about that a little bit, where it's brought me now in life. I don't know, should I just go ahead and start?
Go ahead and start. The floor is yours.
So when I was little, I would see these shadow beings. They scared the crap out of me. I wanted to actually talk about these shadow beings. It seems like more and more people are having problems with these negative beings. And I know there is a protocol to mitigate them, but it's an ongoing protocol. It's not like one time and you can get rid of these shadow beings. You have to take physical action to constantly rid yourself of them. I remember Corey Good talking about, it's like a catch-22. The more that you better yourself, the more these negative beings are going to be attracted to you.
Wow.
So, yeah. So I had a lot of experiences when I was little with the shadow beings. One time, one grabbed my foot. So,
oh my.
Yeah.
Really?
Yes. Yep. And I've had a lot of experience with these, I call them ghosties.
Ghosties?
Ghosties, yeah. I used to play with this guy. I called him the soldier. And he was one of my best friends. And also a little girl that I played with that I thought was an angel. And I hung around them all the time. So as I was growing up, I still saw these beings. And I've seen a lot of I guess spaceships and these ET looking beings. So yeah. I remember me and my mother saw a couple of those spaceships.
What do they look like?
The ET looking beings, scary as hell.
Really?
Yes. I don't think they were too nice. I only have glimpses of memories of what they looked like. I remember them being about 3 foot tall, huge head, you know, the big eyes, like everybody talks about.
Mhm.
I wasn't sure when I was little. I wasn't sure if it was a demon or one of these space beings, but now it's like I'm pretty sure it was one of these space beings. So
You can only hope, right?
well, I've seen some pretty nasty things and some really lovely beings as well.
Oh.
But so I grew up next to a cemetery.
Ooh.
Go figure. I actually love playing in the cemetery. And the house I lived in was scary. There was all kinds of entities there. My mother played the Ouija board and she brought in a lot of that stuff.
Oh.
But my grandmother's house was even scarier. They actually did a documentary on her house. I think it was called The Dead Files.
Wow.
It was a house on Collingwood. And I remember seeing a lot of these shadow beings there. I still have dreams about that house, really scary and really weird people living there. But the house goes back even before my grandmother had it. She had a mansion. There was just a lot of people that were murdered and all kinds of craziness. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So anyways, as a teenager, I was still seeing, you know, these beings, and I would I don't know, they scared me. Do you have any questions or anything?
Well, yeah, so these beings would come and they'd visit you. Would they take you somewhere, or what would they do? Would they take you aboard a ship, or what happened?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. You don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember. I just remember seeing them.
Okay.
There seems to be like a lot of gaps.
Okay. What color? Do you remember what color they looked? Was it light enough to see the color? Maybe it was dark.
It was pretty dark. So it seemed like they were like gray, but this is from my memory.
Okay.
I blocked out a lot of stuff from my childhood because of these beings and the shadow beings. But
right.
So as I got older, by the time I was a teenager, I started, you know, I started experimenting with drugs like acid, and it actually increased these negative beings. And I started drinking, and it increased these beings even more because they're attracted to that negative vibration and they can take advantage of you. So I am sober now, and I noticed when I first started getting sober that they increased right away because they had so much fun with me. Seriously. My couch would shake, my bed would shake, I would get banging on the walls. It was absolutely wild. And I remember leaving in the middle of the night and sitting in, I call it's adoration. It's a very Catholic thing to do. And I remember one of them beating on the door to adoration. So, but that's the negative side. There's also, I've been visited more lately, these higher beings. So like the angels and I guess you call them saints.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I've had an array. As a matter of fact, I do a lot of artwork, and
that's your artwork behind you, right?
Yeah, some of it. Yeah, but I was greatly influenced, like by these beings, by these higher beings. I constantly, throughout my childhood and adulthood, drew feathers. I didn't know why. I thought maybe they were angels. See where I'm going with this? I thought maybe they were angels. But I constantly, in my drawings, it's just feathers all around me. So that leads me, I guess, to things that slowly started happening to me. I don't know where to start with this. Let's start back to 2015.
Okay.
So 2015, I think it was around April, and I let my youngest son skip school because it was his birthday. And we were walking in Toledo at I think it was, I don't remember which park, whatever park. But anyways, we were walking and we actually saw a fairy. Okay. I mean, I'm just talking and I could be saying anything, but we really saw a fairy in the middle of the daytime.
Okay.
All right.
That's not a boat that would take you across the water. Not
What?
that kind of.
Not
Not a
that
boat.
kind of fairy. No, a fairy about this big.
Oh, yeah?
Oh yeah. And it was really pretty blue color. Okay. So we're walking and we're both really tired. And we turn and we look at the fairy and we're both like, Casey goes, Mom, that's a fairy. I'm like, yeah, nice. Instead of like saying, yeah, that's something really wild that you don't see, we just walk past it. So we're walking past. So we walked past it, probably because we were in shock. I mean, how many times are you going to see a fairy? I don't know. That's how I responded. So we walked past it and I'm like, wait a minute. We just saw a fairy, Casey. So we tried to go back and we couldn't find it, right?
Oh.
That's okay. Then we get to, let's see, June. And I went to Corpus Christi. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, Corpus Christi.
Sure.
And this guy that I was with, he was a knucklehead. So I'm like, oh my gosh, can't wait to go home. But anyways, while I was there, I got this calming sensation. And in my mind's eye, I got that same really pretty blue color, right? So I'm like, wow. And the guy, because I didn't know at the time, but he was like on some type of drugs and he was talking my ear off. I'm like, oh my gosh. So anyways, he stopped talking. I'm like, well, that's a miracle in itself. He stopped talking. So it got real quiet and really misty. And in my mind's eye, I saw this blue being, and it was the same color as the fairy. This is just, this is just what happened. So then we get to the month of July. Okay. In July, a friend of mine said that he had these blue turkey feathers. Do I want them? I'm like, okay. So I have all these blue turkey feathers that it's like, I have no idea what. So then I think maybe it was August or September. I went to this place in Elyria, Ohio called Holy Love Ministries. All right. And I had this profound experience with Mary, Mother Mary, which brought me to my knees. Okay. My heart actually started to warm up. I started to cry. And I asked if anybody could smell roses. The people around me couldn't smell them at first. But then I remember this lady, she was talking in broken English. She said, the roses are coming from me. I'm like, well, who am I? I'm nobody, right? Why would roses come from me? And then I thought, oh, Mary is doing something to create a healing. Okay. So she was doing this healing. I couldn't get up. I was just blown away. I can't believe this is happening to me. So I've had several experiences like this where I couldn't comprehend, just like the fairy. I couldn't comprehend it, so I walked past it. So I was like on this high, just filled with love and light. I couldn't even contain it. I just wanted to just find somebody that I could hug, and it was like ecstasy. I was in a state of ecstasy. So I get home and we saw rainbows on the way home from Elyria. And we're the person that was driving, we're both tripping out, what occurred. So I get home and I'm still on this high. Two days later, 2 nights later, I wake up and I look over and there's a man bird standing by the end of my bed. And he was the same blue color as the fairy, the same blue color as the turkey feathers, the same blue color as the guy that I saw in my mind's eye. And he didn't say a word. You know, I can't say what he was, but most likely he was a blue avian. I didn't, I thought he was an angel, but blue avians, they're so high frequency that it probably registers angel. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Anyway, yeah. So anyway, I look over to him and I see these gorgeous blue feathers, and I'm like, okay. But again, I can't comprehend it. So it's kind of like I just staring at him like, hey, dude, what's up? You know? But he didn't have the face like Corey Good describes. He didn't have the beak or anything. He looked like St. Michael's face. Okay.
All right.
So I thought, well, maybe, because later I thought, if that is a blue avian, maybe he came to me like that so he wouldn't scare me. I have no idea. So for 2 weeks, I asked everybody, what did I see? Because this is like, okay, you know, the saints, the angels, you know, Mary and Jesus, and all of a sudden, a blue avian, okay? So I asked my psychic friends, I'm like, I have no idea what I saw. And I asked everybody. And finally, 2 weeks later, I went to my friend's house and I brought her some organite, and I asked her about it. And she said, oh, look up Corey Good and David Wilcock. So I did. And I was blown away about the people experiencing these blue avian birds. Mm-hmm. I thought, well, that's got to be what it is. But still, Aaron, I don't know, because like I said, it didn't have the bird face. So
right.
But whatever this was, it led me to Corey Good and to David Wilcock and down the rabbit hole. And I think that was when there was some type of bombing. I don't remember, a foreign country or something, whatever was going on. But then I'm like, right away, that's a false flag. I knew, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh. So it's like I absorbed the information, everything, I could find on Corey Good and David Wilcock. And then my middle son said, I told him what happened. He goes, Mom, have you ever heard of cosmic disclosure? I'm like, no. Look, what is it, right? So he's like, I've been trying to get you on Gaia to watch this cosmic disclosure. I think this is just my memory. So wow. I started watching Cosmic Disclosure and Wisdom Teachings, and I was like, oh my gosh, wow. So ever since then, I've been on this quest to be more service to others. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I don't drink anymore. I do everything I can possibly do. I mean, I'm a homebody, but while I'm at home, people will message me and I try to reach out to them, and mm-hmm. working on my own traumas and whatever I can do. So that's the short of the story. There's so many other things that's happened to me, through me, around me. Mm-hmm. So.
Wow. That is, yeah. Wow. Corey did say that when the blue avians came to him, they came to him in the form of a blue avian. They could have come to him in any form. So I think that might be the partial answer to your question, why he would come as like a blue archangel Michael or something. But
okay.
He was still blue?
Yes.
So do you have any...
I don't remember if the face was blue or not, because this is, in 2015. It's like my memories.
Sure.
What?
Do you have any on your family tree, anyone from India?
No.
Okay.
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Why? Oh, because of those.
The blue gods that they.
Right.
Yeah.
No, and this being had feathers.
Oh.
So, and there was things that led up to what happened to me, seeing this blue, I'm just going to say blue avian, because that's probably what it was, including these blue turkey feathers, which, by the way, for the next 2 weeks, this is before I found out, this could possibly be a blue avian, I made these wreaths nonstop. I mean, I went out and bought wreaths and used these blue feathers. I'm like, oh my God, I couldn't stop.
Mhm.
So I knew something subconsciously was okay. You know, we're preparing you for something. And every time I made a wreath, I thought of like portals and birds and
Mhm.
just wild. I don't know.
Neat.
So yeah.
Well, well, maybe he was a turkey man, since the blue turkey feathers. Maybe he was a turkey man.
Sorry, people are texting me and I can't see.
Oh,
Okay, there.
yeah. Let's see. Well, hello everybody in the chat. It looks like Todd Van Swearingen's in the chat. Austin, Dark Brain, Mud Rabbit, and Catherine Weiss, our mods, the mod squad. They always do a great job.
Yes.
They're the best. I mean, I think we have the best chat. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
You've been in our chat. Yeah.
Do you have any questions? Because
Any
I can't see
questions?
the chat.
Can you see the chat?
No, I can't see it.
Okay. If you have any questions, just type them out there. And it'll be like a 30-second delay till I see anything. TD Austin, this is Diane. I am Margie's cousin. Oh,
Hi, Diane.
hey.
I hope you guys can see me okay.
John Popek
Yay.
in the house. And Todd Van Swearingen says, wife is around. Well, I thought she was a square. Just a joke. Just a joke. So yeah, I like, you know, when I'm scrolling down on my news feed, I'll see a post from you, and sometimes it'll be like Suspicious Observers.
Mhm.
I love that channel, and
Yeah.
it's just I love the way that guy talks. And at the end, he always says, "Be safe, everyone. No
Yeah.
fear.
Eyes
That's
open, no fear.
eyes open, no fear." Yeah, be safe,
Right.
everyone. I love that.
Yeah, the sun is doing some awesome things. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I noticed like the days that the sun is creating a solar flare our way, like a C-class flare.
Yeah.
I know people are on edge, or
Mhm.
they're extra sleepy, or whatever. So I'm
Mhm.
like, all right. And then I have to watch my own emotional state. So I'm
Mhm.
like, all right, I got it. So
I
it's
know.
interesting.
You can tell. I mean, you go, oh boy, I feel like down in the dumps today. And you look at, oh, that's why we got zapped.
Mm-hmm.
Schumann. That is so fascinating, all that space weather stuff and the sun. And, you know, I love that Suspicious Observer too, because he talks about the same thing Corey talks about. That's the plasma electric universe.
Right.
That the sun isn't a burning ball of hydrogen and oxygen and helium. It's only the outer part is lit up, and it's
Mm-hmm.
empty on the inside with a core. It's a plasma electric sun.
It's amazing.
I
Yes.
know it makes a lot more sense than a burning ball of gas.
Mm-hmm.
That just doesn't make any sense, really, because it would be all gone in like a minute, right?
Right. And the sun is electrical, and
Yeah.
so are we.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
everything that happens on the sun is changing, so it's changing us.
Mm-hmm.
And it's and we're going through, I don't remember the name of the clouds that we're going through, these electrical clouds. Do you remember the name?
It's just
Because
a higher energetic area of space that we haven't been in like 20,000 years or something.
yes. So everybody, like David Wilcox says, we're all going through a spiritual throw up. So I'm like, yeah, lucky us. So everything that is amplified.
Right.
So all our negativity is amplified, all our positivity is amplified, and everything that we didn't resolve gets brought up over and over and over.
Yes.
Yes. And then top that off with these negative ankle biters. Oh my gosh.
Terrible.
Terrible.
Horrifying.
The agony and the ecstasy.
Yeah. So what, wow. So you were visited from a very young age. So if I was going to ask you what was the thing that red pilled you, it was probably your own experiences with these other worldly beings or these whatever they were that you were seeing.
Yeah, that was a red pill, but I think I really got red pilled because a lot of it I dismissed, even though I was seeing it and I was interacting with these, like I said, the ghosties.
Mhm.
I just kind of dismissed it. I'm like, well, that's just me, and I'm a little off or something. I don't know, because nobody else had these experiences, and nobody in my family, would say, say, Margie, you probably are having this. They told me that I wasn't right and I was crazy. So, okay.
Wow.
And yeah.
I think we have a question here from TD Austin. Ask Margie, tell you about what she saw behind me last time I was home. That's from TD Austin.
Last time, is that Diane, my cousin?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, I think so.
Oh, I don't remember.
What you saw behind her last time she was
I
at
know
home.
what she's talking about, but I can't remember what it was. It was some type of a spirit. I thought it was a grandmother. I don't remember though. I remember seeing the picture and I said, hey, yeah, look, this is what it is. But I don't remember. It's been a few years ago, Diane. So
Okay. Yes, it is Diane. Yeah.
but,
Okay.
yeah.
Hello, Peggy Dancer. Maybe you could, someone's asking, have her talk about her artwork behind her.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. I actually found an empty canvas. Can you see that?
Yeah.
In the garbage. I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And so I painted over it, of course, angels with the feathers. It's huge.
Wow.
And for some reason, I keep making these portals.
Yeah.
I probably can't see it, but they're angel portals. And anytime I draw or paint, I kind of let my mind go blank. So I don't know most of the time what I'm going to draw or paint. For example, I have this picture of this girl.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah. Anyways, I didn't know what I was going to draw. I thought, well, maybe it's going to be an alien. I have no idea, right? So I started to draw her, and it was very intense, and her hair looks like roses, right? The night the night that I finished painting her, there was a little girl that was standing at the end of my bed. Okay, I'm like, oh, that's why I painted you. Got it.
Wow.
So a few months later, I was getting ready to move, and I moved all my paintings and drawings over to this place, except I left her there. It was around Easter, and I put her by a lily. So I said, oh, your name is Lily Rose. Okay. I had a reading that day. A woman I never met. She really not psychic. It was really weird. Okay. So I left her by the plant, Lily Rose. I knew that was her name. And I heard from upstairs, Mom. I'm like, okay, what is my son here? And he just got a high pitched voice, because I'm like, okay. So a second later, the lady knocked on the door and she came in. And I actually felt bad for this lady because I don't know who she is. And I thought, I'm just going to do a standard reading. The first thing I said to her, I said, who's Lily Rose? She started crying. I'm like, I don't know. So this little girl came to me probably about 6 months or whatever. And it was this lady's daughter that died.
Oh my.
Yes. So that's the type of paintings and drawings I do. I don't know how they're going to come out. Even when I was little, I did that. So that's how that came out.
Wow.
Yeah. But I have a just rooms filled with drawings. Well, I do sacred geometry drawing. I do know what I'm gonna draw there, but all these portals. This is way before I knew who I was and what I'm capable of. Like I said, well, I mean, just owning myself, owning who I am and my gifts and my contribution to the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, looking around, I'm like, wow. So, and the paintings, I've sold a few of them, but they're like pieces of me that I sold. And like, oh man.
Yeah.
So I make sure I take pictures of them. So.
Yeah. Take really good pictures of them so you can print them out later if you miss them. Yeah.
And this one.
Look at that. It's a rabbit hole. Looks like a portal.
It's a portal. It brought a lot of energy in my opinion, where I hung it up, and I sold it. This lady really wanted it, so I sold it for like $10. Man, okay. But anyways, I made sure I took a picture of it and put it on it. So
wow, that's cool.
Yeah,
I like that. Wow.
So, and I have really dark pictures that I'm not going to hang up, obviously, because it has that dark energy. But
John Popek says, mention Cobra Divine Intervention Meditation.
Okay. Yeah. Not a lot of people, I don't think, follow Cobra on Corey Good's Telegram, but I do. I really love the Flower of Life meditations. It's at a certain time and with a group of people all around the world. And I'm like, to me, that's that's giving back. And then these mass meditations, oh my gosh. Whatever we're meditating, like meditating for this country or meditating for these people, I'm deep into that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember I used to listen to him a long time ago. And I think he even did something with Corey at one point.
Yes.
They did. Yeah, that was very, very interesting.
Right.
I think that was at the height of the hope of unity in the community,
Yeah, that was I think there was an eclipse that went down the middle of America or something. It was real significant, maybe 2017.
Okay.
So yeah. But even David Wilcock talks about meditations, like mass meditations, and how powerful they are.
Yeah.
So that I don't know everything about Cobra, but just the meditations alone, it's like, okay, I'm in for the meditation.
That sounds really good. Yeah, I think we all need to do that. Sometimes I just find myself all day just kind of meditating as I'm going about my daily things, just kind of meditating all the time, without even thinking about it. I think that's, what helped me to calm down and be able to meditate is I had something wrong with my eyes and I was going blind, and stress made it worse. But when you're going blind, that's kind of stressful. So I just kind of learned how to kind of like live pretty stress-free because I don't want to be blind. So, but it really has benefited me to be more, I guess, ready to go into meditation at any time. So.
Right. I do have something called Alpha Stim. I had it for quite a while and then I forgot about it. And I just started using it again, but it's helpful for depression and anxiety. It's just a device you can get that it's kind of like a binaural beat. It works, it works directly on the brain. You just put these things. And then I have something else called a Healy. And that works with microcurrent and frequency.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe you don't know this, or maybe you do, but I heard a story that Nikola Tesla, many years ago, he was in America. Maybe he was in America, but he was crossing the road and he got hit by a car. It was in the early days of cars. And he went to a doctor and he asked the doctor what he was going to do. And he explained what he was going to do. And he said, I'm not going to go for that. I'm going to go home and heal myself. And he went home and he made a machine that healed himself by using electricity, by pumping electricity at certain intervals and frequencies into his body. It healed his bone and in record time. So,
Do you remember? Do you know the name of it?
No, I'm sure any search engine could find it, but
Because through a coincidence or synchronicity, a friend of mine was telling me something about Tesla and energy. It was something like Terra something. So I don't know if that's the same thing.
terabytes of energy. Yeah.
Something like that. But
well, he wasn't pumping a lot of electricity in his body. It was like you said, microcurrents or something like that, because our body is electric, but it's not like if you grab a power line, it's not going to do you any good.
right.
I got zapped by 220 once, and that you don't want to do. I guess you can only do that twice, and you're gone.
Wow.
You don't want to do it. It was a horrifying feeling.
No, thank you.
Very horrible.
Right. Yeah, I know a guy, they call him a saint. He was electrocuted and they thought he was dead, but he had a vision of Padre Pio. I don't know if anybody knows who that is. It's very Catholic. This Padre Pio, he could read souls and he could be at two places at one time. So anyway, this Frank Kelly was electrocuted and they thought he was dead. And he pops up. I think he popped up in the morgue or something crazy. But he pops up and he's having a conversation. He thought he was in heaven. He's having this conversation he called the white coats. He thought they were angels. And this guy lost it. He flipped out and ran out, right? So anyways, he had to have heart surgery because of that. And Padre Pio came into his room and said, you're going to be okay. And talked to him. So he's calmed down and he was okay. And he started getting visits all the time from Padre Pio. This guy is like awesome. And for some reason, I got to meet him. And I kept thinking, because, like saints, they have relics. I kept thinking, maybe if I pull a piece of his hair out, I'll have a piece of relic. Just, he wouldn't know, but just in my head, right? As a joke to myself. But anyways, I got to know him. And I got to know these Catholic women. I was introduced to the Catholicism in a really wild way, like visions and all these wonderful experiences, like the experience I had with Mary. It was just wild. So I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm hooked already. I didn't know that was out of the norm, having visions and all this other stuff. I thought, wow, these Catholics are pretty cool, right? So anyways, I went on this trip to St. Bonaventure in Detroit. It was a church. And there was a guy named Solanus Casey that actually died. He died, I think in 68 or something. And he was at St. Bonaventure Church. So they buried him in the cemetery. So anyways, the cemetery flooded. And so this is just my memory. They dug him up and he was what's called an incorruptible. Okay. He didn't decay. I mean, you're not going to be a saint just because you don't decay, but it's pretty weird. So anyways, they brought the coffin. They brought the coffin inside the church, and I got to see this church in the coffin. I'm taking pictures. This was in 2002, right? On the way home, this lady in the front seat goes, "There's an angel," right? I look up, I go, "That's the sun." because it was this beautiful pink ball in the sky. I'm like, I can't comprehend what the heck she's talking about, right? Even though I've had my own experiences. Then at the side window, she goes, look, and we all turn and we all see these beautiful lights all over. I go, that's my eyes. Because still I'm like, just like I did with the fairy. I'm like, okay. It's like you got to hit me over the head sometimes. I don't know. So we all look, and I'm like back to that like dissociated state because I can't comprehend any of this. We get home. I'm at home, and I look out the window, and that pink light comes through the window. And here I am dumbfounded. I call my my ex and I said, I see an angel in the window. He goes, well, I gotta go, and he wants to hang up, but I'm just still hanging on the phone. Mm-hmm. And the angel comes in the window and stands in front of the TV. This is so ridiculous, the story, right?
Whoa.
So I turn on the TV, of course, EWTN. It's Catholic channel, and it's about Solanus Casey. Okay. I told you this before, but I wanted to tell other people.
Sure.
I was frozen, and eventually my ex hung up on me, and I'm watching what I just said. He's incorruptible. That's where I learned he was an incorruptible. That's why they put him in the church. So 2002, the camera had like 4 pictures left, that you can take pictures with. Mm-hmm. I get pregnant in 2005. Okay. And I had dreams of what my children looked like. So I knew if they were a boy or a girl. But my son Casey looked like a girl because he had these long curls. So I'm like, yeah, I'm getting a girl. And I was going to, name the girl's name. But it turns out he was a boy. So I was trying to figure out what name can I name him. And I said, Casey, after Solanus Casey, right?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So after I gave birth to my son Casey, he's named after Solanus Casey. We both were dying. I'm like cool with it because you get to the point, you get so close to death, everything's okay. But obviously we both made it. So Casey was born, and I gave my middle son the camera, and he took crazy pictures like my foot or something crazy, right? Okay. So my sister takes these pictures to the hour photo, and she comes back. She goes, I know what this is, and this. She says, what's this? And I can't show anybody because unless you can do it. But it was Solanus Casey standing behind his coffin.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, first of all, my son's named after him, Casey. Mm-hmm. And the day that this picture gets developed is the day my son is born. So,
wow. That's awesome.
I'm not talking too much.
John Popek says, make sure she mentions her readings. LOL. She does readings.
I do.
And then Carrie Swearingen says, Aaron, let Margie know that I have seen the blue human-looking beings. They may be the new guardians. Others have seen them too. Oh, that's interesting.
So it might not be she's seen the new ones, or she?
No, she's saying that she's seen some blue beings, and others have. Those might be because there's 2 unrevealed guardians that they reveal what they look like yet.
All right. And I know Carrie's seen these, I guess I call them disco balls because to me they were all kinds of colors, but usually they come in blue or purple. I know Carrie has seen those.
Okay, yes.
But these orbs, okay. The orbs I saw were huge. I mean, I'm like, you can't miss it. You can't miss it. So I don't know if that has to do with the blue avians or what the heck that was, but I've also seen the small ones, the blue ones and the indigo ones. And they seem to fade in and out. So exciting.
Yeah. Wow. That's bizarre. So yeah, so there were 5 different guardians, according to Corey. Now there was the blue avians, the golden triangle head beings, which my friend Chuck Thunder makes a bust of. So, and then there was, what was the other one? The blue spheres. You know, they could be just a ball like this zipping around. They can engulf you and transport you, or they could encompass the whole solar system. That's how big they can expand to. But they're beings. So
Right.
those are the 3 that have been revealed, and there's 2 more. The blue avians supposedly have kind of gone away because people were starting to worship them.
Right.
That's, Corey was told, no, this is not supposed to be like a religion. So no one should be trying to like pray to these beings or anything like that. So, but there's 2 others now, and Corey almost revealed who they were on my interview, but his throat was hurting him a little bit. He didn't have enough vocal power to power through what it would take to tell about it. But so that's what she was saying. Possibly.
Cobra mentions these beings. They're from the central race, and they're very close to the central sun. So I thought maybe that's one of the beings. Maybe John knows.
Okay. Interesting. Yes. And Todd says, Todd Swearingen, Angel says, I think he's like talking to somebody else, but speaks of African looking groups.
Okay.
There's maybe a higher dimensional being, but not the Zulu. He said very beautiful looking group. Okay. Just Josh says blue and green. Blue and green. So something is blue and green for Just Josh.
I did have an experience with, there were 3 men. I was laying in bed and they were standing through me, right?
Whoa.
This is another time I just got back from a place that his name was Solomon Wiki. I don't know if anybody's heard of him, but he was an Amish man. He did iridology. He was like my I don't know, like a superstar to me, but I got to meet him and he worked on me. And that night, same thing happened when that experience happened to me with Mary. 2 nights later, that's when that blue feathered being I saw. Anyways, there's 3 men standing through me. So I don't know if I was dreaming or if I was awake. I just remember 3 men and they had hoods on. And I remember looking at their bangs. And I remember thinking, oh, they have the same type of bangs like Mo and the 3 Stooges, right?
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm like, okay, I don't know what the heck's going on. But the guy said, this was years before anything, like maybe 10 years ago. He said, we're the blue race, or no, we're the blue people.
Okay.
And he said a lot of other things, but that's the only thing I remember. And I thought, well, you don't look blue, you look tan, right? So I'm like, the blue people. So then I found, there's different races. There's the white race, the brown race, the red, I think yellow, and blue. And the blue was associated with the American Indians and I think the Mayans.
Okay.
So that just stuck. It's like, I don't know what the heck that means. And then years later, I was watching Cosmic Disclosure and I saw, I think it was Micah that had those weird bangs.
Yeah.
But it could have been the Mayans. I don't it just clicked. I'm like, wow, what? Because he had those bangs, you know.
Mhm.
So
Wow, that's
maybe,
interesting.
yeah, maybe somebody knows what that guy was talking about, the blue people or the blue race or whatever he's talking about. So
Right. Well, people are coming forward all the time with stuff like that. So it's only a matter of time before we figure it all out, right?
and we're all going to start seeing this,
Hmm.
you know, all of us are going to start seeing our grandparents and, you know, some weird stuff, and it's going to keep increasing.
Yes. I think we're all kind of witnessing that. It's people are really waking up. Um, they're seeing things around them that aren't lining up, and yeah, it's quite something what's happening in this world, and yeah, and I think a lot of people too, and that's the great thing about Corey Good's material is a lot of people who listen to it and get something from it become more service to others, and that's just a good thing to do. You know,
Hmm.
to be, you know, because when we're gone, we want to be remembered as a good person, right?
Yes.
So,
Yes. And it's not like, well, look at I can do. I can see this being or whatever. That's just a plus. It's like,
mhm,
all right, what am I going to do with that now? What am I going to do with that information?
right,
Okay. Uh, I'm going to be kinder to people, and I'm just going to try and be a better person. It's not really about ego and do you know what I mean? It's
yes,
not really about, you know, so what? I saw blue guy, you know, so what? Yeah.
yeah. Well, it might, you know, for some people it would freak them out. So, good thing everybody isn't seeing these things, but like you said, soon when they're ready, they will see it.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, it freaks me out sometimes though. I gotta tell you. I mean, if there's a guy standing at the end of your bed, I remember this guy who was wearing a plaid shirt, sunglasses, standing at the end of my bed. I thought he was an intruder. So I have this man pillow, and
yeah.
I'm screaming and kicking at him, and I'm taking my man pillow, and as I'm doing this, it's I mean, about the third time it just goes through him. I'm like, oh my God. So so I say a couple cuss words, I turn over and go to sleep. That
Oh,
seems
wow.
Yeah, seems to be the norm. And they're coming in solid form a lot now. So
Wow.
instead of I wonder if Carrie can relate to this. Um, Instead of them being see-through or floaty or whatever, a lot of them are coming in solid.
Yeah.
So yeah, especially the people who crossed over.
Mm. Well, I know that Carrie, you know, got a chunk out of her ear. I mean, I don't know if her husband Todd was dreaming about being Mike Tyson fighting someone. I don't know. Maybe maybe that could have been.
Yeah.
Uh, but uh, but wow. So have you ever um, now Carrie was talking about marks. I've found marks on myself. Have you ever found any marks on yourself?
More like scratches.
Scratches?
Yeah, from these negative ones.
Oh, really?
Hmm.
Oh
Yep.
my. Now, I remember many years ago, back when I had television, way back before the turn of the century, there was a program about this house that was haunted, and this person was having something was scratching their belly, and they took the shirt off and they filmed it. You could see it just appearing there. It's like, whoa. So that's some negative stuff. Now, I've heard of maybe spraying like salt water. Does that help?
You know I'm on it.
Yeah.
I
So
Oh my gosh. I'm doing the protocol that Corey Good recommends. Maybe somebody can put that up in the chat.
okay.
The Himalayan salt, the tar water. I mixed all this together. The tar water. I do have healing water from malaria. There you go. Um, So healing water, tar water, sage water. I just mix it all up and I squirt everything.
Wow.
Especially, my son being a teenager, it's like he's not always in a nice mood. So wherever if he's yelling or something, when he goes upstairs, I spray that area to mitigate that negativity. And when he's not home, he doesn't know this, maybe he does now, I spray his room.
Well, maybe you could just get a super soaker and do it like that, and make it something fun.
That's what I'm saying.
Wow.
My middle son, we actually did that. We gave him a squirt gun with holy water, and he would squirt a bunch of people.
Well, there you go. Wow, there you go.
Yeah.
That's right. Very interesting. When I was a kid, I was a paper boy, and there were dogs that would chase me on my bike.
Mm-hmm.
And so I put vinegar in a squirt gun, and I'd squirt the dogs, and then they wouldn't chase me. But they were.
How do you know to put vinegar in it?
Huh?
How did you know to put vinegar in the squirt gun?
Well, I just thought if I was a dog, I wouldn't want vinegar to get squirting at me. So I don't know. I don't know how I knew that.
Mm-hmm.
That was back in the 70s when everything you knew had to come from someone you asked about it.
Right.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And now you can look those things up and go, that person was lying about this.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. It's like when I was a teenager, first starting out to be a teenager, I asked someone who was a couple of years older than me. Of course, they know everything.
Right.
When do the zits stop? He goes, oh, around age 16. Well, I'm still getting them, so I'm not quite 16 yet. So
Nice.
you go.
Yep. Yeah, I used to, even though I had all these things, I saw the angels and the negative nasties, I completely doubted my world. So I always looked to somebody else to kind of validate, it's like, well, I don't know what the heck's going on. But now, I'm 58. So it's like by now, I hope I can rely on myself. I don't look outside myself for somebody else, to lead me or tell me what to do. And wow, it only took 58 years. So I think I got it.
I think you do. That's right. Everything is within you. Everything we're looking for is within.
Right. Right.
Even if you're looking for God, guess what? He's right in there.
Yeah.
He's inside you. Everything's inside you. The universe is inside you.
I am you. You are me.
Yeah. That's a new song for Barney. I am you. You are me. We are one big family. There you go. Now, I kind of liked Barney when he came out. I think he got a bum rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think any character who would have came out at that time would have been disparaged. If Big Bird would have came out then, they would have roasted him,
I liked Big Bird, but Barney, for some reason, I wanted to pummel him. I don't know why. It's like, there's Barney.
Well, I thought it was a great, the backstory on Barney's kind of interesting, but maybe we don't need to get into that. But
okay.
It was
super duper.
Super duper, yeah. Well, yeah. I thought it was kind of clever. All kids like dinosaurs. Purple's a popular color.
Yeah.
And he's singing songs with the kids. Kids love to sing songs, and
right.
I think kids really liked it, but somehow adults were like judging it. Where I don't think that ever happened before. Kids, the Snuffleupagus was okay. That's
I
what
like Snuffleupagus, but Barney, no, I'm sorry. That's too much.
I know. Yeah. I know that's his phenomenon. That a lot of people have that. But anyway, yeah.
Who is your favorite Muppet?
My favorite Muppet? Oh, that's an interesting question. I would probably have to say Cookie Monster. Cookie.
Muppet. Mine was Animal, the guy on the drum. Remember the Muppets?
Oh, yeah. Oh, you mean the Muppet Show?
Yes.
I mean, because the Muppets
Yeah.
were also Sesame Street. That's where they started.
True. Yeah.
But now
But
Sesame Street's gone woke, and don't go there, folks.
oh no.
Take a detour
Everything.
around Sesame Street. Okay.
Oh my God, everything is crazy. All the good shows are ruined because they have that, just the woke message.
Yeah.
So I try not to listen to it, but ugh.
But that's why we have to create our own media, new media, new
Right.
stuff for kids that's not all filled with these really odd, bad messages. And yeah, really shouldn't confuse a child with a thing like gender, because that's a horrifying thing to put a kid.
Right.
It's
Right.
it's despicable, actually. So anyway.
It is. Yes.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, indeedy.
Any other questions or anything?
Any questions from the peanut gallery? Let's check it out here.
Such a weird angle.
I think we might have gotten them all.
Okay.
The blood of Christ is what you need. That's from Jeanette Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, these shadow beings, have you seen them recently? I mean, sometimes people invoke the name of Jesus Christ, and the shadow beings will go away. Have you had this?
Yes. As a matter of fact, it wasn't a shadow being, but I kept getting this tap on. This is after I stopped drinking, so they were upset with me because I stopped drinking. So there was all kinds of craziness going on in my home. I went and bought a crucifix. And I remember I was on the phone with my sponsor, and I was telling her, I said, can't you hear the tapping? She says, yes. So I said, wait a minute. And I opened the box up and I put the crucifix on my bed, and I've never had that tapping ever again.
Wow.
Yes. So we know Jesus is Logos. I think that's the word.
Right.
Is it Logos? Yeah.
He's like a solar system logos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Very powerful indeed.
Yeah. So if you have some of these entities tapping or coming at the foot of your bed, oh my goodness, if I saw a man standing at the foot of my bed, I don't know, man. I would be making up all kinds of new kung fu moves.
That's
Yeah,
I do know.
like you did with your man pillow. Yeah, we gotta get a bat and strap that to your man pillow, so next time you actually hit him with a bat.
But now, I mean, when I see somebody, I usually say, what the F? I look at him, I turn over and go back to sleep. I'm like, okay, you're just a knucklehead, whatever.
and no bother, so they're not going to bother you. Yeah, I guess
mean,
if you have a response, they're going to stay there. But if they'll, I don't know.
If it's a nasty being, I can pull out my spray bottle. But if it's a ghosty, I just, okay, there's nothing I can do. It's like I can choose to be all upset about it, which it is surprising, but I catch myself and I'm just like, all right, whatever. And I go back to sleep.
So does organite also? I mean, some people say that organite has some kind of protective qualities or some kind of absorption.
Yeah. So does ormacite. I was actually.
What's that?
It's stronger than organite, and it's more balanced. You can get it from Fresh and Alive. But yeah, I had this on my back.
What's it made out of?
I can't remember at the moment, but if you look up Fresh and Alive, you can find out what it's made of. It's very balanced. It mitigates EMF.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot of things you can get on Fresh and Alive that mitigates EMF, and this is just one of them.
Okay.
but also crystals, lots of crystals around me.
Oh my goodness, look at that. That's a
Yeah,
pretty good one.
yeah, I love her. I use her when I do my readings.
Wow.
And then this one, I asked her where she was from, and I came up with the answer Brazil.
Hmm.
And I handed this to my son. I said, ask her where she's from. Just, who knows? And he said, Buenos Aires. Isn't that in Brazil?
I think so, yeah.
Something like that.
Something
So,
like that. Just say
yeah,
something. You're safe.
right.
If I had that, you know what I would do?
Hmm.
I had that right there.
What?
I would get myself a little Superman action figure and put him standing there like he's in the crystal.
Oh, that's a cute idea. This one is, it's got those lines. What the heck is it called? Now I can't remember the name of it. It's just a very high potency crystal. Here, I'll send it out to everybody.
Oh, wow.
It's filled with love, but it's got these lines. I don't know
Yeah.
if you can see it, like all over, whatever.
Okay. Different growth lines.
Yes, it's gosh, what is it called? Anyways, it's a very powerful crystal, but I also use her in my readings, and I call her multiverse because
Okay.
there's so much energy to her.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
They're alive. They're alive.
they
These
are alive.
crystals are alive.
They are, yes. So that's just a couple of my crystals that I use. Protection.
Yeah, wow.
Protection and that vibration. Jeez. And especially if you put one of these crystals on your organite or ormosite, you see what I'm saying? It creates, I'm sending this out to everybody.
Oh,
If
yeah.
there's anybody else, if
Coming
there's
through
anybody
there.
listening. Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice. I like that.
Yeah.
Interesting. Interesting. Well, crystals are so fascinating, so mysterious. Have you heard of the piezoelectric units? Have you heard about that?
No, what is that?
It's something that's been used for a long time. When you need just a little spark of electricity, it's an apparatus, been around for many, many decades. But when you put pressure on a certain type of crystal, it releases a spark of energy. And enough to like light a furnace or so these are a piezoelectric unit. You can look it up.
When
So
you said that, there was a white light that shot behind me. So
okay.
yeah,
Wow.
I don't know if people will be able to see it on if you play it back.
Well, we'll have to find out.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But anyways, what you're saying, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
That's okay. No. I forgot what I was saying now.
Sorry. You're talking about the electricity that you can use. That I think you were saying it had sparks or something.
Oh, the piezoelectric unit. Yeah, it's a mechanical little thing. It's a device that creates a spark, but the crystal has to recharge. So you can't have spark, 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 spark. It's like spark. You got to wait a little while and press it again. When you apply pressure on the crystal, it produces an actual electrical spark. Yeah. And it's like a little spark plug.
Yeah.
It's used in electronics, all kinds of different things. But so that's a very well-known thing. So why aren't we using crystals on a larger scale for things, right?
Should.
We should.
Yes.
I think that maybe any university that would study that would probably be taken over by DARPA or something, right? Hello, Carol Lightwings, and Deborah Graham. Welcome to the program. Jason Roberts, Abby. Wow, everybody's here. Everybody's.
Nice.
And Margie would be here too, but she can't access the chat. So she'll read all this amazing stuff afterwards when it loads. It takes a while for it to load afterward, the chat part.
For some reason, I can only say one thing on the chat, and then I can only, put like hearts and stuff. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because there's
Really?
a lot that I want to, especially when Carrie was talking, I'm like, oh my gosh, we have so many things in common. So,
Yeah.
but I couldn't say anything. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is. So,
Well, it sounds like you guys need to get together and talk about that. Maybe we'll have like a round table of everybody.
oh, that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
Yeah, maybe
Yes.
we can work something out.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can work something out for sure. Um, well, is there anything else that you wanted to get into this? The chat loves you. Everyone loves you. So we're really glad that you are doing this. This is your first show, right?
It is. And I was extremely nervous.
But are you feeling okay? You're not nervous. You don't seem nervous.
I'm feeling good. I just needed to get my story out, you
Yeah.
know, yeah. And to give people permission for them to tell their story as well.
Yeah.
Because I have a feeling, especially people on Telegram that are in Corey Good's group are
Mhm.
having a lot of similar experiences. And we
Really?
really need to talk about, the why and okay, what do we do with this?
Wow.
Because
Wow.
I mean, it's really not entertainment. It's just why are we seeing it? I mean, I'm a knucklehead. Why do I see
No,
this
no,
stuff?
no. You're very important. Everybody is important. Q told us
Okay,
that. Everyone is important. Every single person. There's no one is above anyone else. That's what Q always said. And I believe
okay,
that.
right. That's kind of what I'm saying. I'm just like everybody else.
Yep.
There's nothing. It's just for some reason I can comprehend this stuff. I can't comprehend how to build a motor or anything. So
Right. Right. I always think, well, if I ever got sent back into the past to talk about the future and computers, they'd say, okay, build this one. Like, I can turn it on and turn it off.
right, right,
I can't build you one. So
right.
then, oh, and Carrie Swearingen said, yes, would love to do a round table. Oh, good.
That would be awesome.
It's a round table.
Hmm.
Fantastic.
So
Go ahead.
I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say because I mean, everything's the same. I've had so many paranormal experiences, and I even dated a ghost hunter because my place was so alive with dead people.
Ooh, alive with dead people.
Yeah.
That sounds like
So
some kind of album for a heavy metal group.
yeah, alive with dead people. But I do readings. If anybody's interested in a reading, just let me know. It's basically I'm being service to others, even though I do charge a small amount.
So how does someone get a hold of you?
I don't have a website or anything. Usually it's word of mouth, but
Okay. You're on
um,
Facebook. Where else are
Facebook,
you?
I have
Telegram?
a telephone.
What's your Telegram? What are you on there?
Um, I don't know I don't know. It's just Margie Long
Okay.
Telegram.
Look up
Uh,
Margie Long. She's on Facebook. She's on Telegram.
yeah,
She's on
Instagram.
Instagram. Okay. Yeah,
But I really love doing that because I really am trying to help people. So,
that's awesome. You hear
mm,
that, folks?
mm.
If you have the need, give Margie a call and she can help you out. Very interesting. Very, very awesome. I want to thank you for coming on to the Truth Quest. Margie, you're fantastic.
Mm.
And
You're
looking
so,
forward to seeing you again.
yes, absolutely. Now
Yes.
that I'm officially on YouTube and Truth Quest and all
Yeah,
right. All right.
there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody's got a story, and now we know Margie's story.
Yes. Mm.
Okay. All right. Well, folks, I think we're going to say goodbye. Then I'll end the show. Okay. I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So we'll see you next time. Margie, thank you for coming along. We really appreciate it. And looking forward to next time.
All right. See y'all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. There we have it. Another great guest, Margie Long. And and how do you know you're on at the Truth Quest? Because we're just downrange of strange, where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal, right? That's right. And how's everybody in the chat doing? I did see some of your messages. It's hard to look at them all when you're doing an interview like that. But I'm so glad that I got Margie on. I've been looking and reading her posts for a long time and thinking how cool a person she was. And I'm glad to bring her to you all. And so until next time, we're on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And of course, today's Friday, so we're not going to be on until Monday. So around 8 or 9 p.m. Central Time. That's when we usually go on, because we're just downrange of strange, because we're where the outrageous is contagious and the paranormal is the new normal. We'll see you next time. Remember, keep your camera trained to the sky so you can take that picture of that UFO, so you can come on to the Truth Quest and talk about it. Until then, peace in.